here. All right, looks like we are live. What's going on, Facebook, YouTube? Welcome to my credit funding. I'm your host, Vita King, bringing you some more knowledge, information in regards to personal credit, business credit, digital marketing, business model, and personal credit. That's what we're all about. That's what my credit funding is all about. Listen, today we're going to be talking about financial literacy in times of crisis. Let me just make sure that I am live here because I am going live on multiple pages on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, all these other channels. Listen, 2021, you got to have a strategy. You got to have a game plan. You got to know what you want to do, especially when it comes to credit, when it comes to funding, when it comes to money. You're money people. Listen, we are in a crisis. The city's about to shut down again for the third time? Who knows how many times? But all right, listen, let's start the show. If you're joining us for the first time, as I mentioned, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. So let me bring up the YouTube channel here so everybody can see it. All right, so listen, that's the Instagram. That's our YouTube channel. Hit up, like us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're watching from. I think the link is somewhere, up there. If you're watching this on Facebook, then you can get the link. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also get the link here. All right. So looks like I'm live here. I'm just going to change the setting here so I make it public so everybody can see it, right? Because it's all about distribution of knowledge. That's what we're all about here. That's what my credit funding is about. We are about distributing knowledge in the area of personal credit. Let me bring that up again. So personal credit, business model, and digital marketing, right? Because you got to stay prepared, people. You got to stay ready. Right now, as I mentioned, we are in a crisis. There's another lockdown coming. This is like the third, fifth. I don't know. I stopped counting. So what does that mean for you? Listen, if your personal credit is not intact, you are going to miss out in this wealth transfer that's about to take place in 2021. Everything is for sale in 2021, people. Everything is for sale. Business is for sale. Real estate is for sale. Everything is for sale. So if you are in a situation where you don't have credit, you don't have cash, you don't have the network, you don't have the skill set, you don't have the business mindset, you don't have the financial education, the credit education, you're going to be left behind. All right. So I'm here to distribute some knowledge, some information to get you ahead of the game so you can start thinking. You can start thinking strategically in terms of what your next move is. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about financial literacy in times of crisis, because right now we're in times of crisis. So in times of crisis, that's what you got to, you got to go hard in terms of acquiring information, in terms of acquiring skill set, right? Because when the economy is slowing down, that means there's certain sectors out there that is still booming. Education sector, real estate sector, right? There's some sectors, there's some industries right now they're making more money than they were making pre-pandemic. So which means, listen, right, you got to go hard. You got to think strategically. You got to know what is your plan for 2021. What is your plan for 2021 and beyond? So you got to have a financial education going forward. You got to make financial education, credit education, and business education your number one priority going into 2021, people. Why? Listen, check this. Right now, interest rate all-time low. Businesses are going out of business. Real estate, commercial real estate there's a lot of vacancy. The jobless rate is high. The residential real estate right now, it's about to take a hit because with the mortgage deferral ending, which means now people got to start paying back that payment that they defer, right? So which means you're going to start seeing a lot more foreclosure. You're going to start seeing a lot more bankruptcy. You're going to start seeing a lot more people's home being taken away. So what does that mean? It means people that have the right credit education, the right financial education, the right financial literacy, they're going to start jumping in. So what does that mean? When houses are going for foreclosure, when people are losing their houses, you're going to have people that are going to be coming in, buying these houses, either with cash or because they have good credit. Now, when they have good credit, they can get a mortgage, they can get a loan, they can get a line of credit here and then. They're going to buy these houses, they're going to hold it because they have the capacity to do that. They're going to wait until until the economy picks up again. Once the economy picks up again, people are going to go back to work. When people are going to go back to work, they will want to spend more. So which means by that time, house pricing is going to go even higher. The interest rate is going to go even higher. So right now, with the interest rate being this low, people that have a financial education, financial literacy, they are cashing in or cashing out. They are borrowing money from banks to invest in properties, to buy businesses. So it's all about financial education, people. It's all about financial literacy, right? So let me make sure this mic is on. So listen, right? In times of crisis, you gotta go hard in terms of information and education. You gotta up your skills game. You gotta up your knowledge game. You gotta acquire new skills right now. Right now, you gotta acquire new skills, digital skills. You gotta start understanding how your personal credit works, because people that understand how their personal credit works, they are cashing in. They are cashing in on a lot, because right now the what do you call it? The lending is cheap money. The Bank of Canada said the interest rate is going to be like that for the next, I think they said the next 2 to 3 years. So which means people that are in the position where their credit is right, where they have the financial education, they have the credit education, they have the business acumen, they have the business strategy, they are cashing in. Why? Because they've been prepared for this. They've been waiting. They've been prepared. Why? Because once you know what's going on, you're always prepared, right? So that's why, listen, people, moving forward, you got to have your personal credit in place, right? Because you see, your personal credit, once it's intact, right, you could be part of this wealth transfer, right? Because what? Because real estate, as I mentioned, right, there's going to be a lot of foreclosure. People are going to start losing their home because of they can't make payments because of the mortgage deferral situation. So which means it's going to be more houses in the market. The supply is going to be high, right? So if your personal credit was in position, then you can now start talking to your banks, start talking to financial institutions, to start seeing if you can borrow some funding, so you can borrow some money, so you can invest in these properties or invest in commercial real estate, even start buying some businesses, people. Why? Because as I mentioned, we are in crisis. There's another lockdown coming. I don't know if it's the second or the third or the fifth, but there is another lockdown coming. What does that mean for businesses? It means businesses cannot operate, especially businesses that do not have the financial education, the digital education, or businesses that don't have access to funding, access to loans, access to credit. See, all comes down to financial education, credit, people, right? Businesses that are able to overcome this crisis are businesses that have access to capital, that have cash reserve, right? Small businesses that are able to overcome small businesses that understand how the personal credit works, that have been protecting the personal credit in situations like this. So now they can access capital funding from big banks and all these other banks. So people, that's what's going on, man. You got to be ready. Financial literacy in times of crisis. You got to get more skill set. You got to get more knowledge in terms of, right, what can you do? What can you do to prepare yourself for 2021? Because listen, the difference between 2020 and 2021 is just the number one, right? That's the only thing that changes between 2020 and 2021. It's just that one at the end. Right? Going into 2021, if you don't change, nothing is going to change. If you don't make an effort to get new strategy, get new skill set, change your environment, change your friends, change the people that you're getting information from, 2021 is just going to be the same, people. So, but listen, but people that that have the financial education, people that have the financial understanding of how economy works, these are the individuals that are capitalizing on these opportunities, right? Financial literacy in times of crisis, understanding your personal credit and how it plays a role in you getting funding. That's what I'm talking about today, right? Listen, if you're watching us for the first time, as I mentioned, right, subscribe to our YouTube channel, My Credit Funding, right? We are on, our website is at the bottom there, right? mycreditfunding.com. What is My Credit Funding? We are a financial literacy, credit education, and business strategy educational company. And we talk about personal credit because we want to help you build your personal credit so you can stay ahead of the game. So in the future, you can get funding, you can get business credit, you can get loans and lines of credit to start your business, to invest in properties, to invest in your new project, because you do not want to stay behind, right? Wealth transfer. 2021, money's about to exchange hand. People are going to start buying properties wholesale. This is going to cause, you know, massive influx of money in the economy, right? So you got to stay prepared, right? So financial literacy in times of crisis. So that's what I'm talking about here today. All right. So listen, when it comes to your personal credit, right, there's something that you have to understand, which is your FICO score, right? Your FICO score is a 3-digit number that ranges from 300 to 900. This score, it makes such a difference that people don't understand how much of a difference your FICO score makes. You got to understand what your FICO score is. Moving in 2021, you got to know what your FICO score is. Check your credit, people. Go to TransUnion and Equifax and just check your credit for free, because you are entitled to one credit, to a free credit annually. That's all you got to do. Just go to Equifax and TransUnion, because these are the 2 credit bureaus in Canada. Equifax and TransUnion, you are entitled to a free credit, people. Now, your credit report, right? Once you get your free credit, doesn't include your credit score. Now, listen, this is how your credit score works. I'm just going to give you a breakdown, so that way, giving you the knowledge to move ahead. So if you're watching this on Instagram, right, go to our YouTube channel, My Credit Funding. You can click on the bio and it will take you to our website. And on the website, it has all the social links to our face, to our YouTube and YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, right? So now if you're watching this from Facebook and YouTube, you're able to see this FICO score chart. So listen, here's a breakdown for you, understanding how your personal credit works. Your credit score, your 3-digit score number, right? In Canada, ranges from 300 to 900, 300 being the lowest and 900 being the highest. So what do you need to know? Listen, right, when it comes to your credit score, 30% of your score is calculated based on the amount that you owe, right? As you can see here, right? Somewhere, where is it? Right? There you go, right? There it is right there, right? Amount you owe is 30%. So what does that mean? It means anytime you're using credit, if you go above that 30% score, your credit score is going to go down. So lenders want you to be under 30%. So don't use more than 30% of your credit, your available credit. So what does that mean? If you have a credit limit of $1,000, don't use more than $3,000, because the more you start using it, the lower your credit is going to score. So that's your credit score. Second is your payment history, which is at the bottom, right? Your payment history makes up 35% of your score, people. What does that mean? It means the more payments, if you make on-time payment consistently, let's say, for a year or, 24 months, you should see your credit score go up. Why? Because 35% of your credit score, people, is based upon your payment history. That is how you understand your personal credit. Take your payment history, your payments very seriously. You do not want to miss any payment, whether it's from credit card, whether it's from your phone bill, because you never know. Even from your phone bill, they could end up reporting this in the credit bureau, and that could decrease your credit score, right? And then, right, 10% is based upon your credit mix, your credit, your new credit. So every time you apply for new credit, you're going to get a hard inquiry. So you want to limit the amount of credit that you apply to 5 a year, right? That's an insight information for you there. Limited to 5, right? So every year, don't apply for more than 5 new credit, because every time you apply for credit, your score also goes down. So that makes up 10% of your score. And then 15% is based on the length of credit. So which means the longer you've had credit, the better it's going to be. That's why you want to start with credit as soon as possible, so you can build credit history, because the longer you have it, the more trustworthy you're going to be seen in the eyes of the lender. And then lastly, credit mix, different types of credit. So your mortgage, your car loan, your credit cards, lines of credit, and so on. So that's what you call your FICO score, people. Look at that, study that, because moving forward in 2021, you got to understand how your personal credit score works, so you do not end up making a mistake and then end up in credit jail for 7 years because you missed one payment, because that's how long it takes for information. Every time you miss a payment, when it gets reported to the credit bureau, that information stays there for 6 to 7 years, and that will impact your credit profile in the long term. So take a look at that right there, right? Your credit score, FICO system, 3-digit number from 300 to 900. You want to aim for 700. 700 is, it's good score, right? So, but that's how your credit score works on the personal side, right? Now, if you want more information in terms of how credit works, you can always go to My Credit Funding. As I mentioned, our website is at the bottom. And because this is what we talk about: personal credit, business model, and digital marketing. People, listen, financial literacy in times of crisis. We are in a crisis. There's another lockdown coming. What does that mean for you? It means that, listen, some more businesses are not going to be able to function properly because of the restriction. They cannot sell physically. They will have to figure out another way to sell. They will have to make that transformation to digital, format. But some businesses just don't have the learning curve to do that. They don't have the patience. So that means they might not survive. And because they don't have access to credit, listen, I read there's a report that says that at least, right, there was a report that was conducted, like, among small businesses, like, there's a large number of small businesses that are not even registered. They're running a business, but they're not registered, right? And if you're not registered, it means you don't have a business bank account. If you don't have a business bank account, you don't have a financial relationship with your bank. I've been talking about this. You gotta have a business bank account if you're running a business, so you can build that financial relationship with your bank. Why? Because in times of crisis, when your cash flow is dried up, people, you're going to rely on the banking system to give you some influx of cash, whether it's credit, whether it's line of credit, whether it's business loans, whether it's personal loan, so you can keep your business afloat. And this is what we're seeing right now, people, that businesses are going out of business because they did not have enough cash flow to sustain them while there was a lockdown back in March. And now there's going to be another lockdown for a week or 2 weeks. Now, if you don't have the cash flow to be able to pay inventory, rent, and all that, right, you're going to go out of business. So listen, that's a lesson for you as a small business owner, as an individual. You got to understand how your personal credit works. Protect your personal credit by any means necessary, because your personal credit is a tool that you can use to leverage, to get funding, to get credit, to get money from the banks, and then use that to invest in your project. So listen, people, that's what you got to do. 2021, have a different mindset, have a different strategies moving forward, not just for 2021, but going forward. Because as I mentioned, there's going to be a transfer of wealth. It's going to be going on, and you don't want to be left behind. Right now, it starts with the right financial education, the right credit education, so that way you can be part of the game. Right? Don't be a viewer, but be a participant. Participate in this wealth transfer. And that's what here, My Credit Funding, that's what we talk about. We talk about personal credit. We want to help you build your personal credit so you can get some business credit and understand business model, so you can use digital marketing tools to start and grow your business. But it all starts with you understanding how your personal credit works. And that's what I showed you. Your personal credit, especially your credit score, that 3-digit number, can make a big difference between you getting a loan that has an interest rate of 2% or you getting a loan that has an interest rate of 20%, all based on your personal credit. That's how much your personal credit score plays an impact in this, right? The difference between you getting a loan for a business or you getting denied for a business. Why? Because your personal credit is not intact. All business loans, all business credit is all based on your personal credit, right? So if you're thinking about starting a business and you're trying to get some capital, you're trying to get some funding, just know this, that all lending decisions are all based on your personal credit. All lending decisions, whether you have a business or not, whether your business is new or you've been in business for a few years, it's all based on your personal credit. Lenders will look at your personal credit first before they can extend you credit, loans, lines of credit, business loans, term loans, and all that for your new business. So that's what we're talking about, people. So listen, as I mentioned, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we talk a lot about personal credit. We want to help you build your personal credit, understand personal credit. We want to help you get some business credit, and we want to help you understand business model and digital marketing. Why? As I mentioned, 2021, listen, it's time to start thinking differently, because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. Because with this wealth transfer that's about to take place, those that are in position are going to tap in. Those that are not in position, they're going to be left behind. So you want to be able to make sure you got credit education, financial literacy, and business training, so you can tap into this wealth transfer that's about to happen. And also understand how your personal credit works, people. I cannot overemphasize this enough, because if you don't understand how your personal credit works, you will be left behind. on the next video, I'm going to do a video how payday loan doesn't actually help build credit. It does not help you build credit. So that will be the next video that I'm going to be doing. I'll probably put that for tomorrow. Payday loan does not help your credit, people. So that's why you got to be able to build a relationship with your financial institution that can last, right? And it starts with you understanding personal credit. Now, this morning, I actually did a video. You should go and watch it. On the topic was credit invisible and unbanked population. Listen, there's like about 6 million people in Canada that are not in the credit bureau. That means they don't have a credit profile. They don't have, a credit history within these two credit bureaus, Equifax and TransUnion. So 6 million people, 6 million. So that means 6 million people are going to be left out in this new wealth transfer. It's about to take place 2021 and moving forward with the economy heading into a whole different direction, right? 6 million. Now, if you're one of those 6 million people that has no credit, right, you're known as credit invisible, right? You do not have credit, which means you don't have access to cheap money, because right now money is cheap. The interest rate, as I mentioned, is at an all-time low. The Bank of Canada just said they might leave that for the next 2 to 3 years. People in real estate, they're loving this. People, businesses, investors, they are loving this, that the interest rate is so low, right? Because they understand, right? That's cheap money for them. They can borrow money for cheap and then invest that, buy some assets. And then a few years from now, when the economy picks up, the asset price, the housing, the business is going to go up. And guess what? Now they can resell that at a higher price because they were able to borrow money for so cheap and then buy properties and buy assets that appreciates over time. So financial education, people, credit education, understanding your personal credit and the role that it plays in you capitalizing or getting funding or getting loans and credit for your future endeavor. All right, people. So listen, subscribe to our YouTube channel, My Credit Funding, Instagram, My Credit Funding, Facebook, My Credit Funding. Get this information. 2021, don't be left behind, people. The information is there. We're making this information accessible. We are on Spotify. You can listen to our Spotify podcast. You can watch our YouTube videos. You can watch our Facebook videos. You can watch our Instagram video. You can go on our website. Our website is there, mycreditfunding.ca.com. People, listen, there's no excuse why your credit should not improve moving forward. The information is there. You got to do the work now. You got to put in the effort to understand how your personal credit works. So that way, moving forward, you don't get left behind. You do not become this credit invisible population that the report was talking about, or also known as credit invisible and the unbanked or underbanked population, right? Because they have no credit history with the credit bureaus and they have no bank account with the big financial institution. So now you have no relationship with financial institution and you have no credit history. So banks don't know you. They can't trust you. There's no data. You can't get funding. You can't get loans. Now you're being left behind. Why? Because that's why we're here at My Credit Funding, to give you the education, the information that you need to position yourself for the upcoming year so your mindset can change. As I mentioned, listen, the difference between 2020 and 2021 is just our number one at the end of the 2021. Number one, that's the difference. If you're going to 2021 with the same mindset, nothing's going to change. If you go into 2021 with the same attitude, nothing's going to change. If you go into 2021 with the same outdated information, nothing's going to change. If you go into 2021 with the same network of friends that are feeding you inaccurate information or wrong information, nothing's going to change. The only thing that's going to change is once you change your strategy by changing your input, the information that you're getting. Why? Because there is a correlation, a direct correlation between the information that you're getting and the decisions that you're making. If you're getting the wrong information, you're making the wrong decision. If you're getting half information, you're making half decision. If you are getting misguided information, you're making misguided decisions. So that's why you got to change your input so you can change the outcome of your decision. Get some knowledge, get the proper knowledge, the proper education. Always do your due diligence, research everything, right? You want to do your comparison analysis between information, right? So that way you can make an informed decision based on the information that you're getting from the different sources. And that's what I mentioned here at Microcredit Funding. We're all about personal credit, business model, digital marketing. When it comes to this, listen, we give you this on a weekly basis. So that's why you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Instagram channel, podcast, and get you some of this knowledge. People, listen, I'm out. I'm going to see you all on the next video. And the next video, I'm going to talk about how payday loan does not help you build credit, because everybody's taking out payday loan, right? I'm going to show you a strategy, what you need to do so that you can start building your credit, so that you can get rid of this payday loans thing and start building your credit in the long term. All right, listen, I'm out. Peace. I'm going to see you all.